Welcome to our financial wellness kickoff with Dr. Boyce Watkins. We are so excited to have you here. You're in the right place at the right time. My name is Marlon Smith, and I'm one of the real money coaches. Let me bring my colleague up because he is the man with the plan, Dr. Reverend Tony Jackson. Tony, how you doing, brother?
Marlon, I am awesome, man. I'm stoked, man. This is a big night for us. It's a big night for, listen, we got some major groups on with us this evening. Marlon, we have the Black Couples Getaway.
That's right.
We have the Marriage Couple, the Marriage Club. We got Extreme FX in the house. We got our followers in the house. And we have the man himself, Dr. Boyce Watkins is in the house. Man, this is awesome. This is Financial Literacy Month kickoff like no other in history, man. I think this is epic. Marlon, so you see how I'm doing. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing great. And I want all of our viewers, go ahead and type in the chat box where you're watching from. We always like to see which state rocks the house. And those of you that are in other countries, type your country in the chat box because we want to see and we want to recognize you as well. So I'm doing great, Tony. And you know, man, the Real Money Coach, you know, we started April 2nd, our first Thursday night evening, 8 p.m. Eastern town hall was on April 2nd, 2020. And we did that because you had the download of saying, you know what, Marlon? Hey, man, there are a lot of people a little nervous because of COVID-19 and mandatory stay-at-home order. And so, man, we've done a lot, right? And so I think we should, do like a little quick recap. Are you good with that?
How about a 30-second recap that's done by our own technical director, Mr. Chris Jackson, CJ the Gifted, man. And you're right, Marlon, it was just 1 year ago that we started this. And now, man, we were going to do one show just to talk about COVID and how it was affecting our customers. And now we're here a year later and we're celebrating this wonderful kickoff. So we're going to let Chris just roll the tape.
Wow, man, that was amazing, huh? I mean, just seeing all those faces, bringing back memories, right? That was awesome.
Everybody from George Frazier to Eugene Mitchell. I mean, man, we've just had some wonderful guests, and we want to just thank everyone for supporting us and supporting Megan Lynch. And oh man, it's just so many. I can't even name them all, but it's just been a wonderful, wonderful year at sharing this information, man, that is so needed. And I see people, man, checking in from all over the country. The one that caught my eye was from Louisville, Kentucky, right? Because I think our special guest tonight is from Louisville, Kentucky. He might correct me on that, but I think he's from Louisville, the hometown of the greatest of them all, Muhammad Ali, baby.
Exactly.
So yes, man, we're pretty excited.
Yeah. So Tony, okay, so why are you so excited about tonight? You know, let's keep it moving because, man, we got to get the man of the hour on the program. Why are you excited?
Well, Marlon, I'm excited for a number of reasons, man, because, again, we've been doing this financial education. We're getting into the schools. We're getting into the cities. We're getting, into churches, and we're just bringing this. And tonight, man, we really want to talk about a special bundle that we're offering tonight, Marlon. Marlon, you want to tell them about it? You want to tell them about the special bundle that we're offering tonight?
I would love to, man. So listen, here's the thing, what we're doing tonight, Dr. Boyce Watkins is definitely going to take it to the next level. But as we all know, it's not a one and done. This 40-minute program is going to be great, good information, but how do you continue the momentum? And so we want to invite you, as Tony said, we have a special bundle. We want to just bring it up because, again, we're about adding valuable information, continuing the reinforcement. You don't just take one bath. You just don't brush your teeth one time. You have to do it on a daily basis. So next week, we're starting our 6-week financial wellness program. And I want you'll see on the screen, I mean, the exciting things that are going to be showed. Number one, we're going to be talking about financial mindset. Your mindset is everything. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So financial psychology is, we have to sometimes remove some of the bad programming that we received as children. So we're going to talk about that. Number two, we're going to talk about in our second week, budgeting. Then we're going to move into credit. Do you want to improve your credit score? Come on, somebody. Week number four, we're going to be talking about loan and debt elimination. Number five, we're going to talk about insurance and estate planning. I mean, let's be honest. We need to have an estate plan. We learned from James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Prince, others. Man, you got to have a plan when you do transition. And then last but certainly not least, retirement planning. That's basically talking about legacy wealth. How do you create legacy wealth? But guess what? This is the beautiful thing. That's a 6-week program. And then to cap it off, when we cap off, April, as Tony said, is Financial Literacy Month. And so we're going to top it off on April 24th with a very special Wealth Summit. A Wealth Summit. That's right. April 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We got none other than Les Brown. Okay, we all know Les Brown, Maybe Brown's baby boy, Leslie Calvin Brown. You got to be hungry. What? We got Eugene Mitchell. This brother, when he was at New York Life Insurance, he created a $50 billion movement so that people of color would get insured. We've got Dr. George Frazier, whose conference, the Power Networking Conference, is ranked by Forbes magazine as being one of the top 5 business conferences in the world. Then we have Megan Lynch. We can't have all brothers. We got to have some sisters too. Megan Lynch is one of the founders of the first African-American owned Forex blockchain trading and training company called Extreme FX. So again, April 24th, 2021, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now we're talking about this bundle package. What's the bundle package? Chris, would you please bring that up? Because I want everyone to understand it's not about one and done. It's about a movement. And if you have family members, friends who you're saying to yourself, man, it'd be great to have them learn about this financial literacy movement, we'd love to invite you. So we want to make it so that it's irresistible. The bundle package is where you can do the 6 financial wellness series, okay, as well as the Wealth Summit, as well as some free coaching calls, as well as you're going to get a 3-month free membership to our TRMC University, as well as you're going to have a community where we'll be able to celebrate you. You'll be able to get additional information. And then you're also going to receive our complimentary recession-proof retirement ebook. This is amazing. And so basically it's $297 usually, but tonight until 12 midnight PST, okay? That means 3 a.m. Eastern. You can put in a special code and you'll get $135. You go to therealmoneycoach.com, click the events button, you'll see the button, and here are some of the codes, because we got some partnering organizations that understand the importance of financial literacy. And so we're going to put that on the screen. So BCG, Black Couples Getaway. If you're part of that group, just type it for your code, BCG 2021. If you're part of Extreme FX, type in XFX 2021. If you're part of the Marriage Club, type in MC Love 1. And if you're not a part of any of those organizations and you say, yo, I want the discount, just type in Money 2021 and you'll get your special discounted rate. Listen, that's what it is. That's what we have. We just wanted to share this on the front end because you're going to have a valuable information tonight. Dr. Boyce Watkins is here with us. We want you to understand that true change is a process. It's not a one and done. And so we want to partner with you so that we can help more of our families raise up. And that's what it's about. Now, Tony, I know also you and your wife are going to Dominican Republic with Black Couples Getaway and the Marriage Club. And I know that there's a special opportunity for our viewers tonight to win a free trip to the Dominican Republic. Okay?
Yeah, man.
Talk to us, Tony.
Man, yes, we're looking forward to it, man. We're going to be celebrating 29 years of marriage in July, and we are going to go on the trip with our good friend Jerome Davis and Shelly Davis, and we're going to be going with the Sunnies, cooking with the Sunnies. If you haven't seen it, the show debuts tomorrow night on TV, right? So we're going to be going with them, man. But let's just roll the tape so that you can understand what we're talking about when we said we're going to have a little surprise for somebody who attends this class. Roll it.
Hello, I am Marlon Smith.
And I'm Tony Jackson.
And we are
the
Real Money Coach. We are super excited to be partnering with the Marriage Club and the Black Couples Getaway to bring you financial wellness for couples, families, and individuals.
This webinar series actually begins on Tuesday, April 13th. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen, you can find out more details by going to our website, therealmoneycoach.com. But listen, let me tell you this. The reason we're really here is to make two great announcements. Marlon, are you ready to make one of these announcements?
Yes! On April 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're having a very special launch event. That's right, a special launch event with none other than the one and only Dr. Boyce Watkins as our special keynote speaker.
Did you really just say Boyce Watkins? The renowned, the nationally known Black economic guru, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and it's free?
That's right. Dr. Boyce Watkins will be our special guest presenter on April 6th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's free. Yes, it is. Now, Tony, share our second big announcement.
Yeah, Marlon, I'd love to do that. Listen, as many of you know, that BCG and the Marriage Club are going to be going to the Dominican Republic together. Listen, this is going to take place in August. It's going to be a phenomenal trip to Punta Cana in the Dominican.
Wow, that's an amazing announcement.
Marlon, that's not the announcement. Here's the announcement. You can win a free trip to the Dominican paid for by the Real Money Coach. Yes, that's right. We are going to pay for one lucky couple to travel on this wonderful trip to the Dominican.
Come on now, Tony, you're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding at all. If you win this trip, all you have to do is pay for your transportation to the Dominican. And the Real Money Coach is covering the registration fee.
So how do they win the trip?
Hey, Marlon, listen, let me tell everyone how they can win the trip. You have to attend the kickoff event on April 6th with Dr. Boyce Watkins. You have to attend. At that event, we will be making an announcement of how you can win this trip.
Listen, make sure you go ahead and enroll, reserve your seat at www.therealmoneycoach.com. This is going to be epic.
Wow, man, that was awesome, man. And you know, Tony, I mean, you can feel the enthusiasm, you can feel the excitement. So, Tony, let's get into it, man, because here's the thing. You know, you have had 24 plus years as a successful wealth strategist, helping families, helping business owners. But I also know you're very excited about Dr. Boyce Watkins. So talk to me about, I mean, you know, this is your arena. Why are you so excited about what Dr. Boyce Watkins is doing?
Man, Dr. Boyce Watkins, man, you know, it was just amazing when I contacted my mentor, Dr. George Frazier, and I said, Dr. Frazier, man, we would just love to be able to connect with Dr. Boyce. We know that they have a relationship together, and I've just been following him, man. I've been watching him. I watched him on the Breakfast Club. I've been watching his YouTubes. I've been, you know, listening to things he's been, you know, putting down for years, right? And so I have the most highest respect for him in terms of in this space of financial wellness, right? And just financial education, particularly for people, for African Americans, man, for Black folk, man, and to see what he's done in his career, you know, and the guy is amazing, man. He's a young guy, and he's just had such an impact. Everything from the Black Business School to just all the things that he's done. And so I'm just excited. It's someone that I admire in terms of, you know, what I've seen him do in his career. And so I'm really excited about it. No, Marlon, one of the things we got to do is we got to tell people this. We talked about this trip real quick, and then we're going to bring on Dr. Boyce because we're running here. But to be in the drawing for the trip, it is for the people who are in the 6-week class. Every time you attend the class, your name goes in the drawing for the free trip to the Dominican. Every time you attend one class. Listen, we're going to give you incentive to come and get some knowledge that you need anyway, right? So every time you attend one of those 6 classes, your name goes in the drawing for the Dominican trip. Now, if you've already paid for the trip, we're going to give, we put a value on it of $2,000. That's what we'll do if you've already paid for the trip. But if you haven't, that is how you can go on the trip. But listen, Marlon, this is what I want to do. I want to bring him on the stage. I want to give Dr. Boyce Watkins his due. Born to a 17-year-old single mother. And listen, this is the amazing thing. They put him in special education. But Dr. Boyce rose above the obstacles to become a pioneer in scholarship, advocating for financial literacy. He's made thousands of appearances, everything from CNN to ABC to NBN or MSNBC, and so forth and so on. He's got a number of books. And one of the things that impressed me is that this guy has a PhD in finance. You know, I'm a numbers guy, right? I'm a numbers guy. This guy has a PhD in finances. And check this out. This is a trivia fact. This is your Boyce Watkins trivia fact. He was the only African-American that when he received his PhD in finance, he was the only one in the whole country that received that at that particular time. The only one. So, man, without any further ado, let's bring him on the stage. Dr. Boyce Watkins. How you doing tonight, Doc?
Doing great, brothers. How are you?
Man, we're doing great, man. It's such a pleasure to have you here, man. Honestly, man, this is like for me like a dream come true, man, to be able to talk to you face to face and just be able to kick it, man. Just, three brothers, we just gonna have some conversation about some things that should matter to people.
And you know,
it's my honor to be here, man. And I was watching everything you all are doing. And first of all, I wrote down that couples getaway in August. I'm gonna go talk to Alicia, my fiance, right after I get done, and I might be joining y'all, man. That sounds like a lot of fun. But I was listening. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. It's a nice pitch. What am I signing up for this?
Man, we love to have you, Dr. Watkins. We love to have you.
Pastor Sonny and JD, we'd love to have you on that trip, man. So, man, yeah. I'm so much looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. So, Dr. Watkins, let me ask you.
Stuff like that is great. And go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah. I just want to ask you, one of the things, you keep it real, and I love the fact that you have a book entitled Financial Lovemaking 101, right? Merging assets with your partner in ways that feel good, okay? And that just, I just want you to understand that you really keep it real. And for those of our viewers listening, I know many people know you, they follow you. Others, this may be new to you. And so I'd like for you to just talk about right now, from your perspective, what is the financial state of 2021? We just came out of COVID-19, 2020. What's the financial state right now?
The financial state of our community is, it's a tale of multiple cities because you've got people that are actually making more money now than they ever made before. For some people, the pandemic was a windfall financially. Everybody didn't get hit in a negative way. But then you have those individuals that are really struggling. And my heart goes out to those individuals. And I think that if you're going to try to make the most out of what happened this past year, it's important to understand, I think, at least one important word, which is the word change. Your economy is changing all around you. The world is changing all around you. And so this is the time to go ahead and make your power play in your life. This is not when there's this kind of upheaval, that's an opportunity for tremendous transition. In fact, last night, Alicia and I, my fiance, were watching We're a couple nerds, so we like to watch stuff like The Great Courses, and we're watching one about the Black Plague and how crazy that plague was and what it did when at least one third of all of Europe died during that time. And so it was just upheaval. Everything, all the institutions fell apart, governments, everything fell, businesses, all of that. And what they found, though, was that even though the devastation was unbelievable, amazing things rose out of that. There was actually the first time they had social mobility where people could go from being peasants to becoming among the aristocrats. There were people, women gained some rights during that time. There were some amazing, talented, authors and others who were called to do something different because their situation changed. So what I would say to people is that sometimes when your seed is planted in certain soil, you may think it's the best soil, but it may be bad soil. And you may never know that until something comes and uproots your plant. And your plant gets uprooted and you got to replant in different soil. Well, you may find actually that uprooting is the best opportunity ever. So right now you've been uprooted. Your life has been changed in a crazy way. And this is an opportunity for us as Black people to do the things we've always known we need to do, like, educate our own kids. We know what the school system does to our kids, create our own jobs, hire each other instead of waiting on other people to do it, right? Support our own businesses, all these things. So I think that if we play it right, this whole COVID challenge could be a huge opportunity over the next 20 years.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
Well, I know that you've spent your whole career really empowering people of color, Black folks, empowering them. I love the line that you were never believed that you were born to be an economic victim. Why so often are we find ourselves in that victim mindset, and what can we do to break out of that, Doc?
That we're trained on that at birth. I think that slavery thing did a real number on our people. It really got a lot of us and others into a headspace where we are trained to believe that we are meant to be losers, and the best we could be is non-losers. Right, we can never be winners. Right, thinking about being Black and thinking that you can actually be a winner is almost seen as being sacrilegious. There are people that will get mad at you when you talk about the idea of Black people winning, or will get upset with you when you talk about the idea of Black people being economically strong and independent. Not independent in the sense that we're disconnected. We should always be connected, but independent in the sense that we are connected in an empowered way, as opposed to a way that creates sort of a modernized version of slavery. So I would say that when you talk about the intersection of politics with all that we're trying to do, the politics is everywhere. And unfortunately, a lot of the politics can be very damaging, very negative to our self-perception. And it puts us in this almost like charity class. And not every Black person is built to be a charity case. Not every Black person needs to be carried along or helped out as if we are some disabled group of people. Charity is good. Charity is good for children. It's good for senior citizens. It's good for people with disabilities. But if you are a strong, able-bodied Black man, you don't need charity. You might need somebody to get out the way so you can go out here and fulfill your destiny. If you are a strong Black woman, Black women don't need nobody carrying them. Black women can carry the world. So basically, as far as Black people go, I think it's important for us to turn inward to ourselves and realize what we can do without worrying about what other people are doing for us, with us, to us, or about us. I think that if we focus on ourselves and build within ourselves, then the rest of the world just needs to look out, because, and it's already happening. This is not a pipe dream anymore. This is not a what if. This is not a fantasy anymore. You see it all around you. We are in the middle right now of one of the greatest Black economic revolutions in history. We are making Black history right now. Have never in all of at least in the last 120 years, been this many Black people that are collected together talking about building wealth, talking about owning real estate, talking about investing in stocks, talking about starting businesses, talking about Black empowerment. It's now cool and very cool to be Black. So I personally think that we're at the beginning of something that is going to impact our community over the next several hundred years. And I'm just happy to play my little part in this. I think it's going to be amazing.
Wow, man, I just want to say thank you. Just for you to say that, as a, the mind, right? C plus B equals A. What you conceive in your mind, you believe in your heart, you will achieve. And I love that, Dr. Watkins. I mean, for you just to say best time, that we've ever seen, as far as Black economics, right? And people of color rising up. I just got a wind of a sister out in California. I think she's in Inglewood. She's got the first African-American owned blockchain cryptocurrency, right? Brick and mortar, business, right? Where you can buy, cryptocurrency and all this, and I'm just like, wow. And in Inglewood. And so for you to say what you're saying is so important for us to understand there are a lot of brothers and sisters rising up. And so with that, talk to me, because, one of the things that there's also some shame. There's also some regret. Okay. Can we be real? Can we be real tonight, Dr. Watkins? Right. I mean, so, we've all, whenever I ask people, I say, have you ever, man, if I had only known back then what I know now, how would my life be different? And a lot of people have regret. A lot of people have shame when it comes to the mistakes they've made with their finances, with their money. And so would you be so kind to talk about, what are some things that, families can do? What can they do to say, the past is gone. Let me make some new choices right now. What are some steps?
Well, I'll tell you, I can think of in my own life a lot of mistakes that I've made that led to tremendous shame. And, in the world has no problem shaming you when you come up short. And I will say to you that the process that I had to go through in order to overcome that shame and to truly find a way to try to become my best self, it's a lifelong journey. None of us have this perfect. I realize it comes down to self-love and self-acceptance. And that means being able to look in the mirror, see who you are, and really truly love that person, be proud of that person. Don't feel like you have to step off of the plate of who you are in order to become relevant and special and meaningful, but realize that you're already in the sweet spot. You're already in the best community that there is. You don't have to leave the hood to be great. The hood is great. It's just a lot of buried treasure there, maybe in certain situations. So I think that when you see it that way, when you realize that that you don't have to go chase the world in order to find your relevance, the world should be chasing you. You can stay right where you are and realize that you matter. And so I think it's a journey of self-love. That self-esteem piece is real significant when you talk about overcoming the demon of white supremacy. White supremacy is built on a very basic idea that you have been taught from the very beginning that you are inferior, that there's something wrong with you, and that just being Black and being a good person is not enough, because you're nobody until somebody who's better than you tells you that you are somebody. So if you're making mistakes along the way, if you're dealing with the curses that come with being Black, you deal with the things a lot of us deal with, horrible student loans, out of control student loans that you took on because you didn't know any better, dealing with bad credit, credit been bad since Jesus was a baby. You're dealing with crazy embarrassing situations that have occurred in your own family, dealing with maybe going to the age of 30, 40, or even 50 or 60 without even investing a penny, or renting a house for the next 20 or 30 years. I think that it's important to, first of all, understand that you can forgive yourself for all of that, because nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. And how would you know any better if nobody taught you any better, right? But here's the thing. Here's your power play. Your power play is that when I was a little kid, I learned my best lessons from the people that made the most mistakes. My daddy came back from Vietnam, and he had a heroin addiction. He also, he drank a lot. He made a lot of mistakes. His PTSD caused him to make mistakes as a father in certain situations. He was very consistent, loved my mother for 46 years. They're still married, but he will tell you in a second that he made a lot of mistakes. But let me tell you this, it was because my father would have candid conversations with me about the dangers of drugs and alcohol that I never touched drugs. I never touched alcohol my whole entire life. And that kind of thing was, and so watching people who made mistakes understand that they still have a role to play. You still have the ability to be the best teacher in the world, because your credibility is driven by the fact that you've seen the dark side of mismanaging your credit, or forming an addiction, or bad relationships or whatever. And so young people will hear you. And the thing about wealth and just, not just financial wealth, but all the wealth that comes with living your best life, whatever that looks like for you. The thing about wealth is that wealth is an intergenerational phenomenon. It's not a one generation thing. It's not one of those things where you say, man, my time is up. I'm in my 50s. I messed up. I threw away a lot of my best years, so it's over for me. No, the game is just beginning. What's happening in 2021 is not nearly as relevant as what's going to be happening in 2041, 2061, and 2081. And you're not going to be here. You're going to be dead. You're going to be long gone, kicking up dirt. You're going to be 6 feet under. But your children and grandchildren are still going to be here. They're going to be playing the same game you're playing, dealing with the same racism, the same capitalism, the same challenges, the same competition that exists in the world. How are you going to make sure that what you experienced, that the setbacks that you might have gone through, set them up for power plays so that they can learn the things you never learned? And so I'm not really thinking about me. I don't think my life matters that much, honestly, in the whole scheme of things. It's like a relay race with 10 runners, and I'm runner number 1. But the next 9 runners are going to live over the next 200 years, and I'm just trying to run the baton as fast as I can to put them in the best position to win. That's what your job is. Your job is to plant the seed so that they can receive the harvest. Your job is not to get the harvest and the seeds all in your lifetime, because wealth is not a short-term race. It's not a sprint. Wealth is a marathon, and it's a marathon relay race that goes over a 100-year period. That's where wealthy families come from. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling bad. Stop letting yourself low self-esteem stop you from doing what you can to help the team, and just do your best and set your grandkids up to win. That's what you're supposed to do.
Man, I absolutely love that, because as you know, we're really big on generational wealth. And even when we talk about the 6-week program that we have coming up, so 6 weeks is obviously not enough to, for us to see the benefits of all that. But, 6 weeks, we start with financial psychology and we work our way through it. Why do you think that it's important, as we, as African-American and people in general, everybody, that we begin to work on our financial IQ, work on some of the things like we're going to talk about over the next 6 weeks? Why is that so important, do you think, for us to move forward?
Because you can think about wealth the way you think about any sport. Wealth is a competition. It's a war. It's a battle for resources. And the people that tend to win battles and win wars and win competitions are people that have the best training, have not just skill, but the best game plan. They have some power. Right? You think about a football team. They have to have skill, power. They have to practice. They have to have a game plan. They have to have good equipment, all these things. So the teams that are best prepared tend to win. So for you to try to play the game of capitalism and you have not been trained on how the game works, it's going to be hard to win that game. A lot of people, they're losing the game of capitalism, and people feed them a myth. They feed them a complete lie that says, well, the reason that you're losing the game of capitalism is because you just can't win because you're black. And being black just means that you're just too stupid to learn anything. And you just, we just sit in the corner and feel sorry for yourself. Well, that's not going to help you solve any problems. That's not going to improve your condition. And so the question becomes, why would you expect to win a game when you've never even been to practice? So, how can I win the Super Bowl when I ain't got no pads, no game plan? I ain't never thrown a football in my life. I have no good teammates. We have no power in our offensive line. You can't win like that. So really, if you look around and you see those who are struggling to understand what's going on with economics, the million-dollar question to ask yourself, literally and figuratively, is how much time have you spent studying the game? Studies show that the average millionaire spends 20 hours a month studying wealth and economics. The average person spends about 2 hours a month. So are you acting like a millionaire? The first step to becoming a millionaire is to act like one. Are you acting like a millionaire? Because you eventually become whatever you act like. Just like they say, you are what you eat. Whatever you eat, eventually it'll start showing up on your body, for good or for worse. I know that, believe me, as a man who's eating too many cheeseburgers. But also I know the benefits of eating vegetables. So the same thing is true with how much time you put into learning this wealth game. Eventually, if you're acting like a millionaire and doing what millionaires do, then guess what? You're going to start watching your wealth slowly climb up, and your children and grandchildren will be even better off than you can imagine.
Wow. I think that's really good. That's really good. And one of the things, our workbook for the class is called, giving you the playbook to win the money game. We got to understand, and we take that analogy. We spend the first 3 weeks really talking defense, and then talking about how to go into offense. You know, defense is dealing with your psychology and your credit and your loans and your debt, and then we switch and talk about how to go into offense, how to save for retirement, how to start saving so that you have an emergency fund. Mama used to call it a rainy day fund and all those types of things. Listen, I know we're running really close to an hour, but I want to get one more question before Marlon comes on. I'm competing with my brother for this one question. I heard you say this on the Breakfast Club, and man, it floored me because it was like all of my space. You talked about the business school that's named after you, and you can tell us where that is. And you said in order for them to take your class, they had to have life insurance first. Why would you say that as a prerequisite for taking your class?
Because I'm old fashioned. I believe in, accountability. I believe a man needs to be a man, and a woman needs to be a woman, right? But I'm not a woman, so I can't tell a woman how to be one. But women know what that looks like. Real women know what real women look like, and I'm tired of seeing men with children dying without life insurance, and leaving your family to that kind of struggle. To me, where I come from, if you're a real man, you're not going to do that to your kids. You do whatever you got to do. And again, I guess it's just, maybe I just got lucky. My daddy, the guy who made a lot of mistakes in his life, his view on manhood was, I'm going to do what I got to do to take care of my family. Ain't no sitting around feeling sorry for myself and none of that stuff. I'm going to figure it out. And so, if you want to take a class from me, get your life insurance first. Don't be in there taking my class and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. I tell my daughter and the young ladies that I mentor, I say, look, when you come to any event that I host, the men who follow me have been pretty vetted. Like they're not, knuckleheads and losers are not going to follow my platform. They're not going to show up in my event. The men that show up in my event, they love Black women, they respect them, and they understand their role as a man. And so I think that the key to our community becoming what it's supposed to be is men, all of us reclaiming our place on the throne. And that's going to come through strategy. It's going to come through courage. It's going to come through consistency. It's going to come through discipline. It's going to come through brotherhood. That's why I'm very, very happy to support you brothers and be a part of what you guys are doing. I love it. George Frazier introduced me to your platform, but I tell you what, I love what I hear, man. And I really believe that we are the original kings. We are the original man. Like there is nothing that should be slowing us down or stopping us. And if we work together, there ain't nobody can slow us down. We are too extraordinary.
There you go, man. And we're excited to have you, Dr. Watkins, come to the DR, Dominican Republic, Black Couples Getaway. Okay, bring that love making, find a book with you. Okay. And so, listen, we just want to say thank you, man. This has been a pleasure. And me and the chat box is just, time runs. And, man, look, we may have to have you coming on our summit, too. We might have to extend it to 6 hours instead of 4 hours. Okay? I mean, I'm just saying, Dr. Watkins, come on, brother. All right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you. And the thing is, listen, family, for those of you that are watching, just type in the chat box, what's your action item as a result of tonight? What's the one thing you're going to do as a result of tonight? I mean, that 20 hours, that's just 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, right? 20 hours a month studying financial wealth, millionaire strategies and principles. That to me is a takeaway. I see all of you just typing in the chat box what your takeaway is. And, life insurance, that was another distinction. And so I really right now, we're going to wrap up, but I want to say this because, I know tonight was phenomenal and I want to encourage you, don't just keep it to yourself. One thing that Dr. Boyce Watkins just shared was the fact that, hey, we're working together. We're going to celebrate, him. We're going to basically be an advocate. We're going to be promoted because it's not about crabs in a barrel. It's about coming from an abundance mindset. There's enough for all of us if we work together. I used to live in South Africa, and they had a Zulu word. It's called Ubuntu, and Ubuntu is I am because we are. Let that sink in. So, my brothers, my sisters, I'm asking you. I'm inviting you right now. I'm going to just do the recap of what we have going on, this bundle, because I want you to understand we got to all rise up together. We got to rise up together. And you know, and I know you got family and friends right now who are suffering behind closed doors. I mean, most of us were not taught this. I mean, type in the chat box. Can you relate to me if I say, how many of you have ever asked yourself this question? How would my life be different if I knew back then what I know now? Just yes or no. Can you relate to what I'm saying? I'm the first one to raise my hand. Because, man, I've made some mistakes, but I've learned. And that's what I love about what Dr. Watkins said. He learned. His dad, made some mistakes, but he learned from his dad. And that, to me, that's the value of life. And so with that being shared, I want to just do a recap. Next week, I'm encouraging you to go to therealmoneycoach.com. Go ahead, enroll in our 6-week program. We're going to be talking about financial psychology. We're going to talk about budgeting. We're going to talk about credit profile, right? How to raise your credit score, loan and debt, insurance, estate planning, and retirement. And in addition to April 24th, we've got this wealth summit. And like I said, we might have to talk to Dr. Boyce Watkins and extend it from 4 hours to 6 hours. I'm just saying, because this was so electrifying today. We got Les Brown, Megan Lynch, Eugene Mitchell, Dr. George Frazier, right? But we have a special deal for those of you that take action tonight before 12 midnight Pacific. That's 3 a.m. Eastern. There's no excuse. And you can still share with your family, your friends. Email them the link, because the special is this. Basically, you can have all of this in addition to the free coaching sessions, as well as the 3-month TRMC University. 3 months where you have access to all the modules, 164 modules, free assessments, videos, so on and so forth. Okay, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And so basically you're going to type in a special code and you get all of this for $135. That's your investment. It's an investment in you. And with that, the Wealth Summit, for those of you that take action now, you're going to have a VIP ticket. So you're going to actually be able to connect with those speakers, Dr. George Frazier, Les Brown, Megan Lynch, Eugene Mitchell. So there are the codes right there. Any of you that are part of these organizations, any of those 3, BCG, Extreme FX, or the Marriage Club, type in the code and booyah. And if you're not part of those organizations, just type in Money 2021. We want to be a blessing to everybody. No excuses, okay? Again, go to therealmoneycoach.com. And so with that being said, this has been phenomenal. Listen, there's so much more. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here. And Tony, I'm going to let you go ahead and close this out, man. But before I do, I just want to say my signature, and then you close this out, Tony. Remember this, family. Remember this. A vision without action is just a dream. A lot of action without a vision is merely a passing of time. But a vision, come on somebody, with action can change the world. I am Marlon Smith, reminding you there's greatness within you. Live with purpose because you are blessed. Tony, I turn it over to you, brother.
Well, Marlon, I tell you what, man, I as you know, I'm a minister and all that, and we don't go behind a sermon and preach another sermon, right? All I can do, man, is all I can put is an amen on it, man. All I can do is dot the I, cross the T. What has been said has been said. I love the fact, man. The first time I saw this was Dr. Watkins on. He had a shirt on and said, "Own or be owned," right? And so what I just want to encourage people is take ownership. We didn't get a chance to really talk about business ownership and entrepreneurship, but we feel like that is so important because you can't pass on a job. You can't pass on a rent. You got to own generational wealth. And so again, I'm encouraging everyone to make sure you take advantage of the offer. Yeah, you can go out and you can purchase the 6-week program by itself. You can purchase the Wealth Summit by itself. Each of those there. You can do each of those on its own. But if you really want to get the deal, and we know how we love a deal, right? We know how we love a deal, And so we're packaged those two together. We're giving you 20% off the package. And then all you got to do is use one of the codes. All you gotta do is use one of the codes, and you get $100 off of that for $135. And you're gonna get the Wealth Summit, the 6 classes. You're gonna get access to the Real Money Coach TRMC University online, and you're gonna get your free coaching session, all that in one package. So listen, we gotta go, we gotta run. We love you. Thank you for supporting the groups that you see on the screen: BCG, the Marriage Club, Extreme FX, and the Real Money Coach. Listen, we want to see you in Punta Cana. Want to throw that out there. My wife and I, we're so excited about going to meet. I've been working with a lot of you, but for the last year. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Chris and MJ Sonny, Pastor Chris and MJ Sonny. Man, I love these guys to death. We just met, but it's just kindred spirits. JD and Shelly, our favorite people. Megan and the founders of Extreme FX, Megan and Adrian Sloan and Reagan and Jacob. Just a great group, great all the way around. So listen, we're out. Nothing else to be said. Sign up. We'll see you starting next Tuesday, and we're going to get this thing unpacked, and we're going to continue to do these things. And thank you again to Dr. Boyce Watkins. It's been our pleasure. With that, God bless you. Have a good night. Make sure you sign up before midnight Pacific time tonight to get the great deal. Thank you.